Welcome back to Dream of Mirror Online. Last time we finally learned to fly and I discovered that the Flying Frog King was nowhere near as difficult as I first thought. Today I have already prepared and changed my job to thief, level 10, haven't got any experience yet, and I made the new equipment. As you can see, I am beautiful. The first level commoner's suit is gorgeous on sylphs. Sylphs are just so pretty. Have I mentioned that sylphs are pretty? Sylphs are pretty. I highly recommend being a sylph. Look at how pretty I am. Anyway, after a bit of gushing about that, I do want to, as usual, talk about this job. Thief is a job which is heavily based around evasion. As you can see here, the best stats to put points into are dexterity, agility, and power. Thieves are based around avoiding almost all of their enemies' hits, hitting them really hard, and basically that's it. Dexterity is one of those stats where you should probably get it to a base level and then focus on, say, agility and power, or pure agility. Especially if you're subbing in with other abilities, you may find that that's good enough. Here you can see some of the recommended builds, and as you see, a lot of agility, power, and dexterity. You could also put points into physique, but I personally am not sure how good physique really looks for a thief. You do get more HP, but you don't have a lot of defense. It doesn't add a lot of defense or magic defense, so I don't really know that I would put points into physique personally. As said, I think very high agility with a base level of dexterity that I like, say in the 20s usually is pretty good, and then also some power so I can hit harder. But you actually get 1.4 attack just from doing agility, so that's really good, and you get 2.2 attack from putting points into power. So I would say agility and dexterity at first is all I'm going to bother putting points into, and if I find when I've got dexterity to a nice level but it's not quite enough, I could still put points into power, but dexterity also puts points into attack. And of course, you really want the increased accuracy, otherwise you can't hit anything. I may have built some jobs over as Mian Mian without enough dexterity, and I found I was really suffering in later areas because of it, so I think getting it to a decent base level is important. Alright, thieves really only have good proficiency with their own weapon, the dagger. You do have some proficiency with the bow, 80% isn't bad, and then the saber and the spear is 70% and everything else, and the boxing gloves, But I personally think that anything below 80% is not worthwhile. I've tested it and I was not pleased. Here we get into the fun stuff, thief skills. First we have close combat. Super stab is just an attack with a dagger, as is stealthy stab. And then you have swift swallow strike, which is just about the only area of effect move you get, along with whirling dervish, which is the higher level version. However, what's really good is control breathing. You just control your breathing to increase your MP. And then that will level up. Eventually you'll access Rhythm of Life, which will increase your HP and MP. Basically, it's just an HP and MP joint regen move. I'll show you that in a minute. It's really good. In fact, I would say that those and then the next set of skills are probably worth subbing in close combat to other jobs for. Premonition will increase your evasion and attack speed by quite a bit. The one flaw with that one is that the cooldown time is longer than the casting duration, but with high agility, hopefully that will get better. And then Fighting Foresight will increase your defense and your evasion, so that's also a really good one. I'm not sure if they can stack together or not, because then you could stagger them to get around the cooldown time. And then you also have Throw Knife and Light Hammer Throw, so those are just more attacks with the dagger. But here, let me just show you Rhythm of Life before we move on. Let's see, I just need to lean in close to read it. It's honestly quite good, especially to sub into other jobs, and the MP recovery is pretty high at the higher levels. I mean, I'm not getting a character up to level 70, but let's just look at, say, 48. You can definitely get a job up to 48 solo. 850 HP and 110 MP. That's really good. And then here we have sneak attacks. You have Bolt from the Blast, which uses the Bolt from the Blast item, and that thus can be subbed into other jobs without requiring any ability to equip the dagger. And Veiled Volley, which also uses the Bolt from the Blast, and let's see, it will hit multiple times. Okay, that's good. So it's the same, and you can also sub that out easily. Ash Spray will reduce the accuracy and magical accuracy of the enemy. for a certain period of time, and it uses a bag of ash item, thus it's worth keeping those. Now this one is interesting. Shadow Advance. Uses smoke to hide self in order to assassinate the enemy for a period of time. Effect cancelled after initiating attack. So essentially you could use this to hide yourself if you want to sneak through a part of the dungeon. I would have to look at when I unlock it what its casting duration is and things like that, but that is something that would be really useful if you're in a dungeon with aggro and you're all on your own and you want to go get something or get to a enclosed area so you don't have to deal with as many enemies at once. Fast Getaway increases your movement speed, then Run Amok will increase your movement but reduce your attack speed. Okay? Then Hypnosis will make the enemy fall asleep. However, the flaw with this is that once you have attacked the enemy, they will wake up, is what I have found with the sleep abilities. So I don't know how useful it is on its own. However, Play Dead will convince the monsters that you are dead, and it will completely reduce all of their aggro against you. I will show you that ability in a sec when we're done talking. And of course here we have Pilfer. You steal items from monsters. That can be subbed out to another job without needing a special weapon. However, the higher level version, Pillage, will use the dagger, so you can't sub that out unless you have a quick dagger. And there's so many good moves, I wouldn't really waste time putting points into a quick dagger. I'm not sure if Pillage is a higher level or like more effective version of Pilfer that has a higher success rate, or if it's more about being able to stagger the two so that you have multiple attempts without having to wait, because the cooldown is a little bit long on Pilfer. However, Thief is a really good job, and I think it's very much worth getting some of its skills to sub out to other jobs, and you need Pilfer if you want to craft weapons. Very few weapon recipes can be bought. Finally, here we have Play Dead, and you can see the details about it. You need Hypnosis to level 5, and it instantly drops all non-boss monsters aggro to 0, and it won't draw aggro while it's on. Let's see, it lasts 60 seconds. Okay. And the cooldown is 90. I want to see how much you could actually balance that out by increasing agility. That would be very interesting to see. And you unlock it at level 31 if you have Hypnosis to the right level. So that is very good. Okay, I have already but I've already set up a little hotkey for Kamlin. All she has right now is Super Stab and Pilfer level 1, which will only let me steal items from monsters to level 10 and under. So it's not great, but it'll get better. And hi, little poo-poo. I love when they just suddenly come running across the map like that. It really makes it feel more like they live in this area and they're doing stuff. He wanted the grass over here. It was much tastier. So you can see that, of course, my base power, agility, and dexterity are very good. Everything else is kind of poor. And let us get started. I did pick up the missions from Sasha because I need to train here, but long term I don't think I'm going to get much benefit from training in this area. I'll probably want to move on to Copperhorn fairly quickly because I have not shown that area. As soon as I'm high enough level for it, like level 15, I will probably just want to go there. So let's see, I could actually take advantage of some of this. So we can use Heat Stroke and then Super Stab, and it's nearly dead. Obviously there's a limit to what that can do, but I want to also see, you can see that the poo-poo is missing me already. Of course, it's not very high level, it's level 10, but even your base evasion is quite good. It's really the best point of the job. You have very high evasion, and this is not the episode where I talk about all the different armors and compare them. However, I will say that the clothing increases your attack speed, and some of them actually increase your evasion as well. So that is an advantage to clothing. I personally think that when you do get hit, it's really nice to have something more defensive like light armor, so it's really good to sub in light armor to other jobs, but it is a nice bonus that you get, and it's possible that you could still keep the wristbands, which increase your evasion, but then the rest of it is light armor, which increases your HP more and your defense and your physical attack more. So I feel like mixing and matching armor, if you have the equip armor ability, might be useful. I may try that at a higher level. When I have equipped light armor, I'll put that on Thief and see if just using the Thief wristbands and gloves, which do increase evasion, will be useful. That's worth trying. Okay, so there's a plan. Anyway, let's hurry up here. I'll get Bolt from the Blast fairly soon, but not just yet. However, I am beating up the enemies fairly quickly. It won't take me long to get to level 10. I'm just thinking about what I want to put points into first. I honestly think I want to put a lot of points into agility because in solo play you really do need agility, and I will have more ability to use different abilities if I don't have such long cooldown on them. You can see right now it's quite long. The casting interval is 50 just for super stab. That's not very good. So I think that at the moment just focusing on evasion is going to be the way to go. Alright, we have GRBY, so Gerby. I always need to use that to remember the combos. But at this point, we're doing fairly well. It won't take us too long to get to level 10. Fortunately, the early levels, you get experience very quickly. And once we get to level 11, I'll see about what skills I unlock, and then I'll probably do some grinding off screen because I want to get to a higher level so we can finally see Copperhorn Mountain. I feel like we've been sticking around in the early level areas for quite a while, and it's about time that we explore further. Alright, B. I'm so close. I'll just stick here for now, and then we can... I don't know if the little dairy poo has anything to pilfer. And right now, I still have super luck in Provider's Providence. Why is it so good? It's not as good on my character Mian Mian. Does Kangmin have a better... I thought I selected the same birthday and zodiac for her. I don't understand it, but she has much better Provider's Providence. Alright, here we are. Leveled up, and I think for now I am just going to put a lot of points into agility. I won't always, but for the time being I want better cooldown and I want more evasion. You can see my evasion is now up to 26. It's already just about as good as defense, and you don't get much benefit from putting points into defense, so not great. Alright, Swift Swallow Strike is something I'm not really interested in because I can't do area of effect. You only have 2 area of effect moves as a thief. It's not really worth putting points into them, I personally think, because it's not like you can take mobs and do area of effect. We have Premonition, and we could level up Pilfer one time more, but I think I'll save that for another level up. We will get Bolt from the Blast at level 12, so we'll have more attacks. But since I only have 3 points right now, I'm going to... It does increase my attack speed. Yeah, I'm just going to put points into Premonition, at least it's somewhat useful, and I can then show you what Premonition looks like. Quickly. Don't know how much use it's going to be at the moment, but you can definitely see the attack speed is better. So lasts 360 seconds, but the cooldown is 720. That's the one flaw of this ability. I suppose they figured it would just be too overpowered otherwise, but it really is a shame because, well, duh. But I suppose when you unlock some of the other abilities like Play Dead and things like that, you could stagger them and use some of those in between to just avoid being murdered. So there are things you can do. But for the time being, I really just need to stab things with my knife, and that's not very interesting until I have more attacks to cycle between and I can fight with a little more strategy. These are just little poo-poos, they're not very strong, so here we are. For the time being, we're just going to fight them, and I will do that off screen. Okay, so I know I said that I wasn't going to show you this, however, I looked it up and little dairy poos have one weapon recipe you can steal. It is the soft staff, I already forgot the name, it's the level 10 staff for martial artist. And I can with level 1 Pilfer steal from it because it's level 10. I can show you mostly the incredibly bad luck of Pilfer. Pilfer fails a lot. I understand in a way that it's not like they want you to be able to do it every few seconds, but it is pretty difficult to get good luck on it. I believe I've said this before, fighting chance apparently influences the success rate of Pilfer, whereas Provider's Providence influences your chance of getting a good item from it, like the recipe instead of just something junky. So that is a little bit unfortunate. It does take a while to pilfer, but the casting interval is 30, and I think that putting more points into agility will make that a lot less painful. I have in the past used it with jobs which don't have very good agility, and so I was waiting a long time between stealing attempts. So I don't know if I really want to show you every single theft attempt because that could be very boring, but it's worth doing that. I'd like to just do it while I'm here since I'm fighting them anyway. And you can see the stealing attempts here, so I could actually show you how long it takes. But let's try one more. Wait, no, we don't have the cooldown yet. Casting interval of 30, that is one of my complaints. It takes so long in comparison to how rarely it succeeds, but I get it. Once you have a recipe, you're done forever, and the HP needs to be below half, I believe, for it to succeed. Not that it succeeded anyway, but in general, that is something to keep in mind. It definitely won't succeed if your HP is too high. So here you can already see I have 3 stealing attempts failed in a row. Lovely. I will show you how long it actually takes me to get anything when I come back. And we're almost level 12. Actually, I might stick around until then so that I can get a new ability. I feel like, I'm not sure if your success rate at Pilfer is influenced by the level of the ability. I think it's just what level of monster you can steal from. It'll go up to the maximum of level 20 when I level it up once more, for example. Alright, let's try one more time for another failure. It's fine. I think it's definitely something to do when you're training in the area anyway, rather than something that you do later. If you go specifically to an area and you're just trying to pilfer and it keeps failing, that's going to be really frustrating. Whereas if you are actually training here anyway, then at least you don't feel like you've come here for nothing and you're doing nothing but standing around waiting for Pilfer. Okay, I actually do think that at this point, I'm still going to be putting more points into agility. I think I'd like to get it quite high, and then at that point, I can put some points into some other stuff when I'm happy with agility for the time being. So now I can put 2 points into different things. Let's see, no Swift Swallow Strike. You know what? I really do want control breathing because the MP recovery is something that's going to be really good for a lot of jobs. I'm actually torn long term between either getting Doctor to a decent level and using regeneration and inner magic, or just doing this. But the other advantage of this one is also that as you sub it, if you sub it into another job, you can also get Premonition and eventually Rhythm of Life and Fighting Foresight. So this is good to sub into a lot of other jobs, and you can also, benefit from multiple things. So it's still good. And here we have sneak attacks. We can get Bolt from the Blouse, and I'm probably going to do that for now. The casting interval is 10, so at least I have something else to attack with. Unfortunately, I don't believe I have a lot of bolts equipped at the moment. I don't have a lot saved up. I only have 45, so that's very unfortunate. But let us try to pilfer from the little dairy poo again and see another failed attempt. There we are, more failed attempts. It does take a while, but then once you've done it, you have the recipe forever, so there is that instead of a trade-off, I suppose. Okay, for now, more training and more pilfer attempts. I'll come back to you when I have hopefully succeeded in stealing that recipe. Alright, no success with theft yet, as you can see. Yeah, pilfer's a little bit annoying, but it's worth it if you want to craft your own weapons. I have reached level 13 and I'm finding that some of my moves are not hitting, so I'm going to just put all of my points into dexterity this level. I think I'm starting to find that having sort of goals for which stats to put more points into is really useful. Just doing one of this, one of that every level doesn't necessarily work for me. For instance, early on when you're not very defensive and you don't have a huge move pool, you might want more evasion and faster cooldown and faster casting speed, and then you might find that your accuracy is too low, so next level you dump all your points into that. I think it's most important to have in mind the points which you want to put, the stats which you want to put points into. Sorry, I don't know why I got my order there wrong. I think that's what's going to be really useful. For instance, you're not going to get a lot of benefit from wisdom, unfortunately, so why would you put any points into that as a thief? Stuff like that. So now I need to see what else to put some points into. I think at the moment I'm really struggling to beat things up because I don't have a lot of special attacks, so I probably will put some points into Throw Knife. I only have 2 attacks, it's not very good. I do have a lot of other good stuff now. Fast Getaway, Ash Spray is nice, but I have other stuff for accuracy. In fact, I could have, instead of the Shaman skills, equipped the skills here and done Razzle Dazzle. I feel like that would have been more useful since I'm attacking stuff by hand. Yeah, in fact, when I go to Darkdale, I may switch that out. But anyway, for now, I'm just trying to decide, do I want more attack or do I want better Pilfer? There's not enough information on Pilfer about what increases its rate of success, so I have this sneaking suspicion it might work better if I level it up, but I don't know that it really does. As Mian Mian, I have it at a decently high level and it still fails a lot even on low level monsters. Let's just do Throw Knife so I can beat things up faster. And then next level I'll do Pilfer. Alright, so hopefully now my attack attack is going to be a little better, and you can see I'm not really getting a lot of benefit, going to get as much experience benefit from fighting the little dairy poos anymore. I'm really just trying to pilfer that bloody recipe by now. And I did have this quest from Sasha, which I'm nearly done with. Nearly done with that one too. Don't need the agate. Where's another pure white poo? Here it is. Adorable. So throw knife is actually a range attack, but I just used it close up. It's fine. And here we are. We're almost ready for Pilfer again. Oh, I only got 10 gold. Lovely. That's great. So much for that strong luck, huh? Oh well, we'll get there. I might actually move these. I want to use Bolt from the Blast less often because I don't have a lot of them. And I just realized I just did it anyway. I just realized that I don't have Pilfer ready yet. It really does take a long time. That is something I would critique a little bit. I do wish there was some way to actually influence that. Oh, and I'm done with Pure White Pupus as well. Okay, so I might still hang around and try to finish the pilfering of the little dairy poos, but I make no promises. I would really love to move on to another area soon. Alright, I have had zero luck with Pilfer, and I'm tired of it. Also, I hit the wrong thing. You see, I got sugar and I got gold, so not very useful. I have decided it is time to finally go to Copperhorn Mountain. We have been in the same small area of the game for quite a while, and I think at this point it's time to broaden our horizons. So, here is our first glimpse of Copperhorn Mountain. As you can see, it is a desert region, very different to the beginning of, to the early part of the game, which is more like, I don't know, the plains. Do not talk to him, don't do his quest. This is a very high level quest which you cannot do at this stage. You have to beat some very difficult bosses, it's an escort mission. Don't do it. Just a quick warning, I don't think it's worth doing at that point. Oh, it's so pretty. I'm not even a big fan of desert regions necessarily, but I think the way that the mountains just turn into this light blue and then fade into the sky is very pretty. Alright, so we mostly have a lot of lizards in this area, but we also have whipping grasses. The orange whipping grass is now the perfect level for us. I did level up Pilfer to level 2 and it didn't help, and I also did dump more points into dexterity. As you can see, I probably need to do agility again next level. Although, to be fair, the orange whipping grasses are also fairly, like, they're the same level as me, so I'm not obviously faring quite as well against them. Did I put on? I do have regeneration, so that will help. So yes, I'll probably put more points into agility again after this, but I was finding certain moves were missing and I wanted more accuracy. Accuracy is nice. I'm gonna see, do the orange whipping grasses have anything? Well, we can take a look. A lot of monsters do have things you can pilfer. Okay, the ones here in Copperhorn Mountain have the baseball bat, which is for the commoner. So there is something to pilfer. And since I'm fighting them anyway to train, this is a way where it doesn't feel so useless to be attempting it. And it failed! Yay! I will say Pilfer is probably one of my least parts of the game. It just has such a high fail rate. It's very frustrating. But what can you do? So we're not quite ready for this area, but I was a little tired of hanging out in Swan Lake Basin again. I think we can tough it out for one more level, and once we hit level 15, we should be able to deal with the orange whipping grasses much more effectively. And we have the assault officer here. Actually, he might tell me I'm too low level. I think I need to be level 15. Yep, he just ignores me. Thank you, sir. I might also put premonition on for the time. No, that's control breathing. I don't need that one. I was gonna put premonition on. I put it here. That should hopefully time me over until I hit level 15 and can, in fact, take that mission. I definitely came here a little bit early, but I really was in the mood for doing something a little different, and I do like the atmosphere of this area. This is largely for the mid to high teens, and then also I'd say that maybe like level 21. The highest level main monster is level 20. And then after that, you do have some area bosses which are higher level. Right now they would murder me. I need to be careful to avoid them. And the lizards have Santa hats. I love it. I don't know why the lizards have Santa hats, but it's very cute. I do appreciate that. So you can see they're hitting me quite hard. Also, I'm almost ready for the level 15 clothing and I don't have it. So that's a bit of a problem. And I don't currently have what I need to make that set, so whoops. Let's see if agility can get me through for a while longer, because I love this set. It's so pretty, and I don't believe the next set is going to be as pretty, although it might be prettier on the sylph than on the human. Alright, a quick overview of Copperhorn Mountain. This is Grizzly Garrison. It is a dungeon full of bandits who are very powerful. They are in the high 30s, I believe, maybe mid to high 30s, and they hit very hard and they aggro, so you're definitely not anywhere near ready for it yet. Here we have Guild Castle, whatever, and we do have the mines where you do higher grade mining. You can do, I think, up to grade 3 mining in the Copperhorn mines. You also have a dungeon called, I think, Malachite Cavern, which is for the level 30s as well, so nothing to it yet. And we have the Longstone Woods, which is a much higher level area as well. You need to finish quests in the Grizzly Garrison to get access to the Longstone Woods, so don't worry about it. Do not go to Dragon's Den. The enemies there are in the early 50s, so they will destroy you. Dragon's Den is actually really pretty. It's a jungle region, and I do really like it, but it'll murder us. Here's Darkdale, which is the next city up. We will go there in a bit, and the Placid Plain is the next area over from Copperhorn, both geographically and in levels. That is for the early 20s. So we'll be going there in a few more episodes probably. I may want to, once I have some more skills I like, switch back to Fencer and level it up more, and I'll be doing that there. So here we are, quick overview of Copperhorn Mountain. There are some area bosses which are quite strong, so be wary of that when you're walking around Copperhorn Mountain. It's probably a good idea to come here when you can fly, although it's also a good area for training the mid-teens, so there's that. But it's definitely something to be wary of. You can get in a lot of trouble with some of those area bosses. They hit quite hard. Obviously, some of them will absolutely one-shot you at level 14. Level 14, that was my decision to rush here a little bit early. I often do rush ahead in this game because I'm just so excited to see everything again. But at this point, I probably need to hit level 15, and then I will get the assault mission, and we can see what the first quest for that one is. For now, let's just get to level 15. Alright, I'm now level 15, and as I said I would, I dumped all of my points this time into agility again. I think that for the time being my dexterity is fine, but I need more agility, especially since I don't have very good armor. Long term, I would really like to sub out light armor as a thief and as a lot of other jobs, but I need to first get Blade Master to level 30 to do that. And it will also save a lot of inventory space in the bank because you won't be keeping a million different sets of armor at different levels. You'll only have light armor and maybe robes. I think that robes are worth it because you can't take hits as a magic user anyway, and robes add a lot of MP and magic defense, so those are good. And I did get the next level of Super Stab. So for the time being, let's see if the assault officer will finally talk to me. Yes, he will. Well, he doesn't really talk. He just gives me the quest and then says, go away. And I still have Menken's letter to deliver, so he wants me to beat up big-lidded lizards and purple whipping grass. I'm not quite ready. These are the big-lidded lizards. I feel like I may need to fight the orange whipping grass a little bit longer. So at this point, what I might actually do is fly over Copperhorn and just show you what the area looks like, and I also can put on Razzle Dazzle. I can get these skills instead because while I do like the shaman skills, I feel like these will be more useful since I'm hitting things up close anyway. So let's take a quick sneak peek by flying of Copperhorn Mountain, and then we can head to the city and finally deliver that letter. He may also give me a quest that I'm not ready to do, as you might expect, but it's fine. Now I would put the map away so you have a better view, but I get lost easily, so I need the map. Sorry. I really do have a terrible sense of direction. There's absolutely no getting around it. But anyway, you can see some of the area here. I think I'll stay fairly low so we can actually see some stuff like the different monsters and the area bosses. So we still have more lizards in Christmas hats. I do love that. It's really cute. Something about that, it's actually a very funny choice. And now these are too strong for me already. Even if they say I'm as tough as you, I would not trust myself fighting them. Same with the purple whipping grass. And we're going to encounter some stronger enemies soon. Fortunately, most enemies won't attack you when you're on your sword, I think. Here we have the giant butterfly. You'll regret it. If I tried to fight that, I would just die. Probably in one hit, quite frankly, at this stage. I would not trust myself to not be killed by it at all, simply because it's very high level. I think it's level 20 at least. It may even be higher than that. And you can see right here on the path, they like to wait, these bosses. So if you go around the sides there, you can avoid their line of sight and not have to deal with their aggro, because of course the bosses like to aggro and murder you. So here we have a fork in the road that will lead to the Placid Plain entrance, but no, that path will lead there. And now here we need to go down to Ducktail. At this stage we can't see any monsters, but I want to see the sky because it's very pretty. Wait, there's the gate. The gate is always a little bit further, a little bit closer than you really think it is. In fact, I've sometimes set myself to autofly and I landed behind the gate, so then I had to take off and go back to the other side. Very awkward, but when the game lets you fly anywhere, it is possible for your character to land in some very odd spots. I'll show you sometime. When you set something to autofly, your character will go to the full height, fly there, and then they will land. And they can land anywhere. In the water, in a stone. Sure, why not? It's one of those things. They probably couldn't quite make the programming for that perfect. Back in 2005, I always do reiterate, this game is from 2005, but I feel like that's important to remember when you look at some of the graphics or some of the little glitches that happen. This was an incredibly impressive game by that time period standards. I feel like it was a PC game, but I would say that this looks better than some GameCube games. Yeah, I would say so. So we have the banker here. He just takes the coupons. And I don't have many, but that's fine. What I want to do is deliver Menken's letter to the Darkdale Destroyer. And you can see there's someone here playing with their pet. I'll talk more about pets later, of course. But for now, we need to head to Darkdale and take care of this. You can buy level 20 gear, and I think level 25 gear at Darkdale, not be level 15. That's back in Eversun. Here is the Darkdale Destroyer. He is a very intimidating looking Shura male, so we'll just deal with that. Are you the Darkdale Destroyer by any chance? Yep, that's me. What can I do for you? Well, Menken was on his way to Eversun City and he took the path near Grizzly Garrison. He was ambushed by the bandits there, and now he's resting in Eversun City to recover from his injuries. He asked me to bring you this letter. He stressed that the letter is extremely important and that I must hand it to you personally. Thank you so much for bringing me such an important message. I need to work out what my next step is. Come back to see me a bit later. Please accept this as a small gift to show my appreciation. Vitamin B pill, and we need to get a tiny bit of experience. I'm not sure when we need to do his quests. He does have quests. But we can take a look. The vitamin B pill recovers 150 HP. However, at this point, first aid does more at level 3, so I don't consider it terribly worthwhile. I'm a bit of a downer about these recovery items, but they're just not as good as getting sub-skills from another job. They're just not. There are healing abilities for different jobs which I think are much better. Now you can see here, in the village, in this square here, up here, this is where you go to find the career advisor and the naturally gifted man in Darkdale. You can change your job in any city. And the rebirth stone is where your revival portal penny will take you, or where you will spawn back if you die. You can set it to a different rebirth stone, but I don't particularly want to. I find that I always do wind up needing to go to Eversun again at some point, and I'm nowhere near ready even to set it up here. Here is the ferryman. You need to talk to the ferryman in each city so that you can then fast travel to the others. Hello, nice to meet you. From now on, you can ask the ferryman from the other major cities to teleport you here. I can send you to the other major cities with my magic. However, a one-way trip costs 1,000 gold. My magic can only teleport you to the major cities that you have visited before. You need to have talked to the ferryman from the other cities first before I can send you there. I do not want to go to Eversun City, and of course here's Collington and Big Bean, which I have not been to. This was just a quick preview, and also I don't have any mail, but there is a mail system in the game, and the mailbox is kind of terrifying. He actually looks like Dr. Hakim from the new game It Takes Two. You know that weird book who's trying to help a couple with their relationship therapy? He reminds me of that. A friend pointed that out to me, and now I cannot unsee it. He's Dr. Hakim. He's kind of scary. Oh, also, my dagger is ready to upgrade, but I don't believe I have what I need for it. I need probably some apple wood, and I don't have any. And also a vine rope, so I'm probably going to have to go back to Eversun City at some point and do all of that, which is a bit of a shame, but I can always teleport there and fly back here. It's not a big deal. Since we have autofly, you can set your character to autofly and not have to worry about that. It's much faster. Oh, I forgot, I did want to switch out to the other skills. Youngster, you look pretty talented. We could use your help in Darkdale. Are you willing to accept the challenges? Loopy Lizards mission. Recently, the lizards of Copperhorn Mountain have been multiplying at a frightening speed. They've almost occupied the entire mountain. The excessive number of lizards has threatened the lives of residents living in Darkdale and Copperhorn Mountain. We'd like you to help the people of Darkdale by reducing the amount of lizards to a reasonable number. Alright, which lizards does he want me to beat? There are a lot of different lizards, of course. That is the umbrella lizards? Is that a glitch? There aren't umbrella lizards. Let me look at that. What? I don't even know what that is. Anyway, let's look for this one. And I still haven't done the flying poo-poo mission to get faster flying. I see defeat 10 big lidded lizards, 10 little lidded lizards, and 10 lizard leader. I see, so umbrella lizard is sort of like the term for all of those lizards, probably because of how their frills look. Okay, that explains it. And that user definitely has OP armor. But anyway, I am just going to head back to Copperhorn, not Darkdale, and do some more training. And wow, hey camera, please. There we are. So yeah, I'm a little bit weak. I really should get more wood and upgrade my knife and my armor, but I'm gonna see if my high evasion can take me through for now. Especially once I have Razzle Dazzle on, so that when premonition is run out, I can still use that. That may help. But for now, I'm just going to be beating up a few more of those whipping grasses until I hit level 16, I think. So, wish me luck. I'll see you in a bit. And hopefully not die. Well, I've hit level 16 now, and this time I put 1 point into dexterity and 2 into agility, and I'm still holding up okay. I do want to show you the level 15 armor on Basilf, but honestly, at this point, I could just do the level 20. I could probably hold out till then. My evasion is so good, what does it matter? And you can see, because I killed a bunch of them, here is a giant orange whipping grass. I've had a few successes with Pilfer, but no recipes, just items. However, I do feel like maybe I got up to level 3 of Pilfer and I feel like I'm getting more successes. I don't know if that's affecting it. You can see my luck is still the same, so that can't be it. But at this point, I think I'm also ready to start on the lizards. They're level 15 and they have the fire element. Not that it matters very much at the moment because I don't have any elemental attacks as a thief, but worth keeping in mind. And here, let's try another Pilfer and see if it fails. Probably... Yep! I'm not a big fan of Pilfer. Like, it's nice to be able to steal recipes, but it is just such a low success rate. It's quite tedious. It's one of those small things where I say, I actually don't like this feature very much. It really is very tedious, but what can you do? Okay, maybe I do need the next set of armor. I'm definitely taking a lot of hits. Even though I have high evasion, when they do hit, it hurts a lot, so that's a problem. Although Razzle Dazzle helps, as will Premonition. Not Premonition, Premonition is here. I put it here. Okay, here we can try one more failed Pilfer. Need to get the HP under half, and there we are. Stealing failed, of course! Yay! I'm not a very good thief, am I? I'm starting to think I'm not a very good thief, although you can see that the higher agility is definitely helping with the casting interval, so that's nice. But yes, I'm starting to think that I'm not a very good thief. I don't seem to be meeting with any success. No recipes so far, just junk. And maybe I need more dexterity because I don't think my bolt from the blast hit. $14 gold! Yay! Although, as you see, I am actually getting things, just not what I want. So that's great. And actually, my provider's providence is good, so I feel like if that is affecting it, I should be getting better stuff. Well, now you got to see Bolt from the Blast hitting. It's only level 1, but it does a decent chunk of damage. So at the moment, I'm really only ready to fight the big-lidded lizards. And the Assault also wants you to fight the big-lidded lizards, as well as the Darkdale Destroyer, so that's nice to double up on those missions. As I always say, you should double up on missions because, well, obviously, why wouldn't you? Otherwise you're doing them twice. Okay, fingers crossed. And nothing! I will probably make some very strange noises when I finally get it. I don't know if that'll ever happen. I gave up on the little poo-poos. I couldn't get the recipe from them. Maybe sometime I should try to go do stealing when I have really high fighting chance, because apparently that does affect your success rate at Pilfer. So maybe that's worth trying out. And good thing I put on my doctor skills because I'm definitely taking quite a few hits here. Funny thing is, I don't even need this recipe that badly, but I still want it. At this point, it's a challenge. It's a challenge which is defeating me. However, speaking of recipes, I did go get the information we need for the recipes in Copperhorn. Here you can see them. There are 2 in the mine area, so I'm gonna go get those first. Anything else I'll have to wait until later. There are some enemies in that area which might hurt me, so I want to be careful. And later on, I will also go get the recipes in Darkdale that I missed. So it looks like a lot of armor. Not very useful for me at the moment. I think the silk cap is the level 20 hat for the commoner though, so that's something. And here we have another Pilfer attempt which shall inevitably fail. Indeed. I will try again when I have better fighting chance and see if that actually affects it. For instance, I tried to do a lot of alchemy when I had super luck in Provider's Providence, and it made a huge difference. I only had a few failures, and I made a huge amount of stuff which I wound up selling back to the recycling broker. So I think it really did make a difference in that case. It really did influence it. But for the time being, that is a problem. Alright, let's put on Razzle Dazzle. And, you know, I'm actually going to just beat this guy up. He'll give me good experience, probably. Now we need the Y. And we won't get the B, but it's fine. He's nearly dead. He might get a little more experience than the regular ones anyway. And I'm just going to make my way to the mines and get those recipes. You can see there is a nice little pathway we take to get there. And I am probably not going to record all of this because what's the point? It is actually a decent bit of a way down there. And then there are the 2 paths, so I could get lost because I do get lost a lot. Never underestimate my terrible sense of direction. Oh right, I just stole from one of the lizards to get the feather fan recipe, which I think is the level 18 fan for the dancer. And you can see that I have fought 58 lizards so far, so it took me a long time. It is frustrating, it is not my favorite part of the game, but crafting weapons is better than buying them, what can I say? And actually, at this stage, I really need to be able to get better gear as a thief before I continue. My knife needs an upgrade and I probably do need better armor. Even though my evasion means that it's not a big deal, I do think that I need an upgrade. So for the time being, this is good enough. I can already steal from monsters up to level 30, and I can sub that skill out to other jobs. It does not require a dagger. So at this stage, I feel like I've done what I wanted for the time being as a thief, and I'm probably going to come back to that job later when I have some more gear for it. But I think I did give a decent overview of it. Let's see, Super Stab, Throw Knife, those are just so that you can attack things. They're not great abilities, although they're okay. Bolt from the Blast is nice because you can just use the Bolt from the Blast and sub it out to another job. Ash Spray is nice because you reduce the accuracy of the enemy. Here I did get hypnosis. Unfortunately, it's the same thing. As soon as you attack the enemy again, it wakes up. So you could do it and then cast a spell on them, I guess, but then you also have, like, Shaman has Hoarfrost and stuff. You really want it because later on it turns into an ability which allows you to get past aggro. And then Pilfer, which is very frustrating to use, but, well, you need it if you want to make recipes. And Control Breathing, I now have level 2, which recovers 16 MP. Obviously it gets much better over time, and actually Thief doesn't really run out of MP very often. Now here, when you steal a recipe, it shows up as an actual physical recipe in your inventory, and you'll have to actually double click it to learn it. And you can sell it back to shops, although it's not very useful, or you could sell it to other users who don't care to do Pilfer. But why would you spend this much time pilfering the recipe and then not use it? So yeah, I can actually sub-pilfer out in future to other jobs and just continue to try to pilfer things while I'm training already. At this stage, I think I want to continue in Copperhorn Mountain for a bit, but probably as another job, maybe Blade Master. I think it's the right level range for it, and I do want to keep leveling that one up so that I can get Equip Light Armor. Lots of jobs will benefit from that, so we can see, no, we need weapons. I now have a Feather Fan, which is the level 20 fan. You actually can get this from the Dancer Life Quest at level 20, but I find that you need to do life quests a little later on, like level 25, so I'll be able to make it now or in any way. I really was just fighting them anyway because for the assault mission, and I thought, try. And you can see that the Dancer's fans have very interesting stats. They add to your HP, and they give you a pretty good amount of both physical attack and magic attack. They increase your accuracy and your attack speed by a lot. And this one has a water attack. A lot of the weapons do have elemental attacks. You sort of alternate between ones which have neutral and ones which do have an elemental attack. The problem is if it has an elemental attack, obviously there are going to be things it's weak against. But here we are. It took me a long time, but I finally managed to steal a recipe. But you know what? I'm so cute. Whoa, too much soon. I'm so cute. Look at my bows. It's just such a cute costume. But for the time being, I think I need to switch out and train another job because I don't have the stuff I need to make more gear for the Thief. And I also don't know what I would do with the inventory. Actually, I might switch to Commoner very quickly, off screen, and level that up a little bit so I can get more forestry. Now, there's a plan. I'll probably have done that by the next episode. Okay, Commoner is very boring to watch fight. There's really no need to see me doing it, so I'll just do that off screen. Alright, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time, hopefully with a slightly higher success rate for Pilfer. Okay, I wouldn't hold out hope for that, but we can always dream. Advantages, I have the recipe, but for now, Cumlin is very annoyed with me probably, and I am ready to give up on being Thief for a little bit and train some other jobs. I got it to level 17, I got some of the base abilities I want, but at this point I'd like to switch out to some other stuff. I find that continuing to level different jobs up as you go is useful because they all have useful abilities and they need to be not necessarily fully concurrent levels with each other. You could definitely find a place where you can say, I'm happy with the skills I've got from this job and I don't enjoy it enough to do it all the way. But I would say you at least need to get into the 30s with a job before the sub-skills will still be holding strong with other jobs. But anyway, I am babbling now. The point is, Thief is good for stuff, but also Pilfer takes a really long time, which is frustrating. But if you're a sylph, the clothing is really pretty. So, I hope to see you again next time, and until then, bye! Wait, I also forgot to wave. You can see that Pilfer has me really confuddled. Here we are. Bye!